Alright, today we're going to be unboxing and taking a look at the PTR 91 GI Heritage Kit. Essentially what this is an HK G3 clone. But because of the nature of how this box is, there's not going to be much of an unboxing experience. So I'm going to get all the accessories, books, and the gun out, and then we'll go over the accessories, what comes in the box, and then we'll start going into the features of the rifle itself. So let's get this box out of the way. Okay, so here's everything that comes in the box, and like I said, this is a GI Heritage Kit or G3 clone, HK G3. So in the box, you're going to get a vintage cleaning kit. So inside of here is going to be a bottle that you can put whatever lube you want in, a nylon brush. I'm going to assume that this is like a chamber brush. You also get two different nylon brushes. You're going to get one with larger nylon bristles, one that also has nylon bristles, but also has a middle copper piece, and then a pull chain for pulling those brushes through. Also in the box is going to be a red cable lock, a PTR manual. So this covers both their 308 and 7.62x39 models of their roller delayed systems. And it's a pretty simple manual. It has illustrations on how to adjust different things, adjust the sight, and also in the back is a parts diagram as well as a full parts list. And also in the parts list are also part numbers. So if you ever need to order anything, you can reference this for those specific part numbers. Also in here is going to be a warranty registration card as well as a PTR sticker. So this is a first. I never knew what PTR stood for, and I guess it stands for proven, trusted, refined. And also specific to the GI Heritage model is an original G3 manual. So this is a manual that's been translated from Portuguese to English, and this one has actual pictures in here. It's a very cool manual, and like most other military manuals, this one's going to be way more in depth as far as maintenance, function, and how to take things apart than that other manual that I just looked at. Very cool that they include that as well. So you're also going to get 3 20-round magazines. So I'll talk about these two, but this one is an HK branded magazine, a G3 HK. You're also going to get 2 vintage magazines. So these ones are going to have polished steel followers. Not much as in terms of differences here. They're still branded G3 magazines. And both of these are the same. All right, let's get everything out of the way, and then we'll go over the features of the rifle next. Okay, got everything out of the way. As always, we'll start with some close-up shots. So this rifle is very much for the dedicated collector, as there are some features on this one that are going to be present on the more modern stylized ones that kind of make things more convenient, like a rail for mounting scopes. Now this one still does have a mounting place, but it's more, like I said, for the collector, and you're going to need a specific mount for HK guns. So we'll start first with the barrel. So the barrel on this is going to be 18-inch barrel, constructed of 4150 stress relief steel, and features a parkerized finish. It's button rifled 1-in-10 right-hand twist, and features a 5/8 by 24 threaded muzzle with a flash hider. So the handguard on here is going to be an original G3 handguard. So this is polymer and an OD green, very slim profile. Again, this is more towards the collector, as there's no mounting places for lights, lasers, whatever you want to attach. You would have to replace it with a different handguard, and at that point, you might as well have gotten a different variant. And like I said, this one is period correct, so it is going to show some signs of wear and tear. And onto the receivers. So these are going to be stamped steel. Very clean welds, as you can see, right there in the front. Very clean weld right there. And this has a parkerized finish. So up top, like I was stating about mounting a scope to this, you are going to need the HK claw scope mount. So you can see these indentations on the top of the receiver here. That's on both sides. Essentially, you get a claw mount that mounts on top of here, then you can mount a scope to that. Now, the other models of this do have a welded on Picatinny rail. And on the receiver itself, it's going to have safe, semi, and full auto indicators, and that's on both sides. And I will note that the lower receiver is made to accept NFA registered full auto trigger packs. Also on the receiver is going to be an original OD green G3 pistol grip. Again, another piece that shows some signs of wear and tear. These are some of my favorite grips, so I definitely wouldn't complain about this grip here. And going back to the stock, again, another period correct item. This one's also going to be OD green. Shows some definite signs of wear and tear. And you've got these holes in the back, and that's for your takedown pins to be inserted into. On the stock is also going to be a sling loop, and then there's also a sling attachment point towards the front. So the sights on this are going to be your standard HK sights. So that rear sight is going to be the diopter sight. So you've got this open position here, and then there should be 4 other positions that vary in sizes of hole. It has a very strong detent as you cycle through the different sizes. And then the front is going to be your standard hooded HK sight that you see on the MP5 and pretty much all of their guns. So it's completely hooded on the top and has a small notch in the inside of there. So your controls, pretty simple. You're going to have your safety selector here, and that's constructed of stamped steel. Very strong detents and moves through the 3 positions. It does need a little bit of force, but very commanding when it's in place. You're gonna have 2 different magazine releases. You're gonna have this one in the front that you 100% will have to break your grip in order to activate, but that is a magazine release here. Then you also have your standard paddle magazine release right here. I'll show you how those magazines insert. Here's how that looks. Very tight fit on those magazines. And the last control here is going to be the charging handle. So the charging handle is also going to have same green polymer furniture. Does have a little bit of wear and tear on it. And on the charging handle, there's going to be a forward locking position. You can see that does lock it in place, does not move back. When it's out of that position, you can kind of move it freely and then push it back there. There it is in the locked position or open bolt position. And with these, you can do the HK slap. However, I'm not going to be doing that today. So the overall dimensions here are 40.5 inches in length. And on the website, they do state that they are 4.31 pounds. I'm going to say that that's not true. This is probably more feels like maybe 9 to 10 pounds. It's quite heavy, but not too heavy, not too overbearing, but definitely not just 4 pounds. But if you guys have any questions on the PTR 91 GI Heritage Kit, drop a comment down below and I'll do my best to get back with you. Thank you all for watching.